Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my respectful obeisances to the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all living beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and are worth taking shelter because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, Prabhuji, do we do recap or should I start? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So
Okay.
today is my recap.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, 15 minutes quick recap, not long. So I'll share
Yes,
the
yes.
screen and let's go ahead. Okay. Okay. Can everybody see my screen?
No,
Not
Prabhuji.
yet.
We are
Okay.
Not yet, Prabhuji.
Okay. 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 Let's see. Stop sharing it says. Okay. Let me go back again. Entire screen. Okay. Can you see now?
No, Prabhuji. Only.
Okay. Let me go back again. Stop sharing. That's what it said. I come here. Screen sharing. Okay, Rajkumar. Okay, I think layout, specific, advanced. Okay, Rajkumar in Canto 11 Explorer. Okay, let's see.
yes, now it will come.
Okay, okay, because I was selecting there. Normally the option is that you can see that, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's start. 15 minutes I have, so 8:15, maybe couple of minutes more. So Hare Krishna devotee, welcome to today's the recap session. Yeah. Any question? Anything? You are able to hear me, right?
Yes, yes. Able to hear
Yes,
you.
Main topic.
Okay. So today's recap is lesson number 167. Okay, so this we have covered. Basically, all the slokas we have covered. Only we are looking from a different perspective, and it's a varnashram dharma, and that's what we are continuing with that. So, so it's the B, 167B. And we will have some few questions because 15 minutes, whatever I can cover, I will cover it. So I highlighted all the answers. Yeah. What is that project?
Your screen, the share screen is hung.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. So let me
Okay,
see.
it is coming. Okay.
Okay. Now let me see where you go here. Chat
You just
participant.
double click that.
Never put some. Now share screen. You are not able to see the full screen. That's what you are telling, right, Rosie?
प्रभुजी जो पीपीटी है वो भी नहीं दिखाई दे रही है
वो खाली आपका एक्सप्लोरर दिख रहा है, that's it.
नहीं तो
हाँ,
screen तो
some
share
menu
कर रहा
is gone.
Okay, what is happening today? Let me try once again. Okay, share. Now?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay, so I don't know what is happening. This normally it should be pretty simple. Okay, so 167B, this is the we are doing. I highlighted all the answers. I'll have very quick questions on that. So as we are done, Sanju Prabhuji has nicely explained. We have done the same thing with previous also discussion. So the same the slokas, we are looking in a different perspective, BBT and then VCT, Krishna Chakravarti Thakur. That's what we are trying to look. So instead of going in more details, let's start with that. And this particularly is, Grahasthas and Brahmachari Ashram. I think these are typically two. And Prabhu is going to talk about Vanaprastha and Sannyas Ashram today. So I think that's how it is lined up. Now, the first question is that duties of the twice born. So, so what is the, what are the duties of twice born Brahmanas? What are
Hare
the
Krishna
duties of
Prabhu.
twice born? Go ahead, Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. These Brahmanas perform sacred sacrifices, and they Vedic literature study, and they generally gives these teachings to the society.
Okay. So normally, Brahmanas 6
They
exchanges,
are
right?
guiding lights. They are the
Guiding
torch,
light.
guiding torch. Yes.
Yeah. So Brahmanas are basically study the scripture, teach the scripture, one, do the puja for themselves, do for others also, that's the sacrifice, and accept the gifts and give a gift, right? These are the, normally we talk about the 6 exchanges with Brahmanas, but here, I think the similar are mentioned. So that is one question. So next question is that how Brahmanas are advised to maintain spiritual integrity of their duties. Very nice question. That is a point two, self-sufficiency.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. They are
Hare
advised not to not to accept charity. Uh, because it will not if they accept charity, it means there no spiritual growth, there is no spiritual integrity. So there is a connection of between these two, Brahman self-sufficiency and this spiritual integrity. They their means of their only teaching, guiding the society, and conducting sacrifices are their means of sustenance. If these are not available in any circumstances, they accept they take rejected grains, and rather than begging.
Rather
So
than begging. Yeah, that is the very nice thing. Thank you. Let's go to the third. I have one question here, highlighted charity. So explain how charity to Brahmanas and devotees helps the giver.
if there is no means of their livelihood, then how they will perform their daily needs of life. So in these circumstances, they should be given charity, uh, because uh, if they get charity, then it means automatically they will get their needs fulfilled, and this will give rise to the spiritualism. So there is the charity
By
we can see
giving,
there.
so anybody wants to add here? This is very good question. So as Mataji said that they should not accept any charity. We can influence their right devotion because they are Brahmanas, head of the society. So by giving, like, for example, I give a charity to Brahmanas or Vaishnava, how it helps me. So here it's given, highlighted, right? So apply. Go ahead, Mata.
Brahmanas,
Prabhuji,
they shower
in-
bestow blessings upon the giver, and that is how charity helps. The
But how it
person.
helps us? How it helps us? I'm giving charity to Brahmana. How it will help me?
Material, this
It
charity
helps.
should be serve as a vehicles for spiritual upliftment. And
Okay.
Charity can invite divine favor and
Divine
blessings.
favor. Correct. So that's what answer I was looking. Okay. So let's go to the slide 4. Again, role of householder. Explain role of householder to balance between responsibilities and personal responsibility and his personal spiritual growth.
They should fulfill familial duties also, with engaging themselves in spiritual path, and they should provide their loved ones that harmoniously with their spiritual development too.
So they have to
And
balance between both, right?
yeah, yes.
यस गृहस्था जो होते हैं वो सारे आश्रमों को सपोर्ट करते हैं
Support करते हैं. Yeah. So
सारे
they have
आश्रमों को
to.
support
They
करते
should not forget that they have to be
They
cognizant
should
that
be detached with the domestic life. That is main
right.
important. But
Should
and
not get
focus on
overrun.
spirituality and spiritual
Correct.
path.
Correct.
हैं entire
So
house should be a grahastha not grahamedi
Garamedi, correct. So another question, that 6th point here. Explain status of householder attached to family. What happens if somebody is attached to the family, children, wife, and society? What happens?
He will get entangled into the material life again, and that will decline his spiritual path to spirituality.
Correct. Okay. So let's go to
it is
the
a bondage again bondage and bhavaroga janma mrityu
Bhavaroga.
jara vyadhi yes
Correct. So we'll get back into the cycle of birth, death, old age, disease. Okay. So the slide 5 question is explain how Brahmana, our devotee, depends on the grace of the Lord. It says the grace of the Lord.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Brahmanas and devotees have awakening faith on God's mercy, and they completely surrender to Lord. There is a very close relationship between the divine and this devotee. And
by
this,
our own effort we cannot progress only grace is needed
Boundless mercy is
and
needed
there
of the
is
Supreme
their
Lord.
their dependence is so much that that the desire for material means is attachment towards the material things.
The Brahmanas seek a refuge towards the boundless mercy of Supreme.
Yeah. So here divine providence replaces the reliance. So that means whatever the is given, like coming from there, they are happy with that, right? Divine providence, right? It replaces reliance on material means. So they are depending on whatever God gives. They are depending on that. So slide 6.
they think everything is the will of Lord
Correct. Correct. That is what I was looking. So slide 6 here. Explain how Varnashram helps one toward devotional service to Lord. All those 4 ashramas, how they help one to propel towards a spiritual path. What needs to be done?
They all varnas have different distinct duties, and which are very essential for the smooth growing of society, and they are interdependent. These are connected. They are interdependent upon each other.
The devotional service to him is devoted all duties towards him on Lord, towards Lord, all the duties for doing for the sake of God.
So establish a
जो भी
varna ashram.
जो भी आश्रम में है वो
Yeah.
उनको जो उनका प्रिस्क्राइब ड्यूटीज जो दी गई है अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर स्ट्रक्चर दे हैव टू परफॉर्म वेरी स्ट्रिक्टली एंड इट इज हरितोषणम फॉर द हरितोषणम.
Correct. Right. That is the. So the next question here is explain type of bhaktis. It should be easy question. The 2 point types of
Three types.
bhaktis.
It is pure bhakti, mixed bhakti, and secondary bhakti.
Okay, so we'll go to the next one. Slide 7. Okay, here role here. This is a very nice question. Explain how Vedic knowledge obscure or diminish over a period of time. Why it diminishes?
During the cosmic dissolution, pralaya, it gets
Pralaya.
it gets
Okay, it gets diluted because there is all
diluted, yeah,
diversion and yeah,
due to
all these things are
universe destruction.
correct. So we'll go to 9 because I have a few more minutes. I'll take probably 2-3 minutes more. Okay, so it's 9.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay, so it's 9. Explain universal ethical principle applicable to individuals. He talks of universal ethical principle.
That is non-violence. Sorry, you go ahead, Mataji.
These are the principles of
Irrespective of all qualities should be there. Achieving
So which are the principles? Yeah, which are the
Non-violence,
Non-violence, truthfulness, and compassion.
compassion? Okay. So anything is left out here, like a 4 dharmas we talk about, right? Anything you see that it's missing here? Austerity, right?
Satya. Satyam.
Satyam is truthfulness is there, non-violence is there.
Truthfulness.
The compassion
Yes.
left out is the austerity, tapa.
Austerity.
Okay.
Yes.
Austerity. So let's go to the 11. This is the simple. Explain the importance of initiation process in the devotional service.
During the thread ceremony, second is known as second birth. They transform this in the initiation transcends in purification.
Begins with that. This is the first step towards spiritual realization.
With
right?
Gayatri mantra.
Accepting
Spiritual master connect us with the Lord.
Connects with the Lord.
He provides the proper guidance how to perform all sadhanas and how to perform devotional services, etc.
He initiates Gayatri Mantra and starts his spiritual journey under the guidance of the Guru. He resides with the Guru and studies Vedic literature.
Okay, so
and we are in the spiritual discipline, so we can get the spiritual discipline.
Yeah. So on this next slide, 12, explain significance of worship and service to Guru.
With great humility, they should serve the spiritual master with silent chanting and selfless act. Whatever service they do, they should be selfless.
Correct.
And they should offer all the offerings to the Guru Master.
On the same slide, there's a celibacy and control. Explain importance of celibacy and control. This is applicable to brahmachari. Why celibacy is important and control also?
It is the cornerstone and it gives the spiritual purity and focus on divine.
Correct.
And creates unwavering consciousness regarding the spiritual aspiration.
Correct. So 13. Here, transition to household life. I'm not going, Prabhuji is going to again talk today. And 14, explain significance of purity and cleanliness. Here, let's take a the significance of cleanliness. What is significant in brahmachari's life? And how many types of cleanliness?
Heart, word, and deed.
Outward cleanliness and the inner purity also. So, cleaning both body and mind is a definite thing in spiritual practice. It is beneficial to achieve spiritual enlightenment.
Okay. So I'll just have correct. So I'll have one question here. Now let's go to the 17. Explain role of Kshatriya in Varnashrama. Normally we always talk about Brahmanas, but there's the role of Kshatriya also.
Both their duties are responsibilities due to protect both deeply and deeply accountable also, and protective to their this like a father protects his children. That is towards the society.
Yeah, I'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you everyone for answering. So it was little bit of we started late.
Thank
Hare
you,
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Wonderful
Thank you.
recap.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, and Hare Krishna. Welcome you all. So let me share my screen. We all pray for the quick recovery of our beloved, teacher, is Chandra Prabhu. So thank you for the wonderful Nashama Ashtakam. Tari, so sweet of you, so nice of you, and may he be well and be with us very soon back. That is our prayer, and all this is because of him and for him, and through him we try to please the Lord. So as Prabhuji walked us through, firstly offering obeisances to all of you and to our Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and to all the Vaishnava Acharyas. All I am saying is just repeating what is written here, what I have read in Srila Prabhupada book. This Canto 11 is translated by the exalted devotees of Srila Prabhupada, who inspired and blessed by his behavior have given us this wonderful translation. So today we will start with chapter 18 from Canto 11, which is Uddhav Gita, right? As Radha Vinod Prabhu said nicely, the chapter 17, like 17, 18 are part of Varnashram Dharma. So 17 covered Brahmacharya and Grahastha. Now 18 is about Vanaprastha Sannyas, and also it covers the behavior of Paramahansa, right? Now this one at all to do one thing. Okay. So the Paramahansa stage is beyond the Vanaprastha and Sannyasa, and in this chapter, the way it is described, like how a person can transition from the Grahastha to Vanaprastha ashram, when he has to do, what rituals he has to follow, how he has to live, what are the various options. And also there is a mention of time, place, circumstance. Depending on time, place, circumstance, what can do, what not do. And there is a further description given of this in the purport by like what Srila Prabhupada says about this, like in the current time situation, Kala, time, place, circumstance, how do we do that? Then also sannyasa, and also we see the description of this in Bhagavad Gita as well. So we'll try to correlate, and then the behavior of Paramahansa. Now there are three important themes I personally see, or three important things I see here, which is TDD, like tolerance, detachment, and determination. Yeah, tolerance, determination, and detachment. So we'll try to analyze each of the qualities explained here. Is it tolerance? Sorry, tolerance, discipline, detachment. So is it tolerance? Is it discipline? And the result is detachment. So tolerance and discipline are the attributes or the qualities. They are to be extremely practiced by people in Varnaprastha and Sannyas. And the result is detachment from material, right? Material and more attachment to the spiritual. So the way we'll do is we'll try to read these themes, try to find out these qualities. Are they tolerance? Is it a discipline? And is it a result that is detachment? However, the overriding part is all of this, like we discussed today also in the class, in the recap, Samsiddhi Haritoshlam. So overriding is all of this, we should very clearly understand, is to satisfy the Lord and perform devotional service. If that is not achieved, if that is not an internal behavior or intent, then we are totally lost. Okay. So let's go through this. So as Prabhuji has nicely organized, there are 7 themes here from the BBT abstract. So first is the BBT verses, then the purport, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur we will cover tomorrow. So the quick summary of these 48 verses is, the first 20 or so verses they describe about the Vanaprastha ashram, right? So here we will go through the passage on Varnashram Dharma, articulate stages of human life as prescribed by the Vedic tradition, shedding light on profound responsibilities and practices inherent to each phase. And then again, for each of these, we will have the description and the philosophical significance. So the first 20 verses describe the Varnaprasth. Now, the penances or sacrifices mentioned or the routine for a Vanaprasth mentioned is extremely difficult. It is almost next to impossible for anyone to do in this time and age, specifically for me. So we will read and try to understand, but there is a deep significance of why it has to be done. That is what we have to understand. And the same is for sannyasa. So one thing about Vanaprastha here, the key thing here is it is a gradual transition from Grahastha to Vanaprastha, and then gradual transition from Vanaprastha to sannyas. Nothing is done abruptly, because anything you do abruptly, that will definitely fail. So you have to go phase by phase, and the training for that begins from early age, when the person is in the brahmachari ashram with his guru. So that is a key part. Then, as we go through these stages, what has to be done? The Vanaprastha, the mode is gradual and conscious withdrawal from the material comfort. Okay. And whereas the sannyasi is a totally detached person. He's completely detached, and he has understood, and he is expert, and he is helping others, right? So Vanaprastha practices the practices and follows all these principles so that he develops detachment. And his focus is, the Vanaprastha, his or her focus is, he understands very clearly, try to internalize and realize that the distinction between the soul and the material body. That I am the soul, I am transcendental, I am part and parcel of the law. By sannyasa stage, it is already realized, considered to be realized, and now the person is already at a transcendental level and trying to help the others. So that is the understanding here. So sannyas is total renunciation and unwavering devotion to Supreme and Vanaprastha as well. So now let's go through this theme and the philosophical significance. So it is a critical transition. It is not immediate transition from the brahmachari life to the vanaprastha life. Vana means forest, and prastha means staying. So going and staying, vanaprastha, right? Going and staying in the forest. It is described by Lord Krishna to Uddhavji that the person in the vanaprastha can go along with his wife or can go alone also. That is the choice. When he has to go, when his children are young enough, taking care by themselves. It is also mentioned that in the previous days, the age lifespan of people was 100 years. So 75 they take sannyas, by 50 or early 50s vanaprastha. I think the exact age is also mentioned. But now in this given time and age, in the purport it is said that the age is not 100 years for anyone. Most of them is 75 or 80. So one has to adjust according to the lifespan. Now, does that mean we have to go to Vana or forest? Maybe not, but there is a mechanism that is given to us by our Acharya, is to engage A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, and also through the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that how we can do that, right? So the critical mindset here is, the important mindset here is, it is a transition, detachment, complete detachment from material world, and it is transformative phase. So you leave behind all the comfort and immerse yourself in a life of simplicity, spiritual dedication. You follow only the strict natural diet. It is mentioned here that Vanaprastha will take the food grains only from 7 houses. That also not a known one. Will not shave the hair, will not do any manicure, dental hygiene, or like completely detachment from the bodily concept, full dependence on the Lord. So why like this? And also when the Vanaprastha he gets the food, he will go in a secluded place. First, whatever he got, he will also distribute and give it to others. And then whatever is left, he will cook for himself and eat that little bit. So why that? Because this is an essential process and these are the culminating stages. And this particular stage, it demands the shedding of the gateway to the shedding of the material attachment, so that one is illuminated to the role of austerities and gateway to higher spiritual levels, such as Tapaloka. So one who is successful in Vanaprasth may go to Mahalok, Tapalok, or he stays through and complete the sannyas ashram, then also he reaches to the final stage of devotion as well, right? So that is the Vanaprasth life. So what is that? The person may be with wife or without wife, practices severe penance, like in the summer, he's standing in the middle, throughout four sides is fire, up is sun. In the rains, he's standing outside. In the winter, he submerges himself into the cold water. What is that? Why so much of pain? Why so much of this? So that you get rid of the um, material concept of the life. Now, there are other tikas or comments from the acharyas that why one should do so much severe penance if he is already spiritually inclined and worshipping the Lord Hari Krishna. So if one is already on devotional path, they must follow the discipline given to us, and then they don't need to do so much severe penance. Also, if the severe penance, Krishna tells Uddhavji very clearly, if so much severe penance is to achieve some material result, like a place in heaven, or like, a lot of the siddhis and all, then that is foolishness. So one has to be very careful of the intent. So now let's see. So all these things, what are these? Are these discipline or tolerance? It's a combination of both. So one has to follow the discipline, and one has to tolerate, like going to 7 houses for begging. The person might get nothing, person might get opulent food, or person might get simple or not so good food, but he has to tolerate all that. So through that, one learns tolerate. And despite of that, one has to have a discipline to continue to follow the teachings of the law. Then the next stage, it is mentioned that one is totally, Krishna mentions in the verse that when one is totally disgusted with the material life, then he enters the sannyasa ashram, right? So the final stage embodies the total renunciation, relinquishedness of total material desire, and the sannyasi is fully committed to self-mastery through meditation, unwavering devotion to the Lord. So at this sannyas stage, one is totally dedicated to the Lord. He takes a tridandi sannyasi, means three key important things: complete control of mind, body, and speech. So if one is not able to control all these three aspects of the tridandi, then he cannot take sannyas, right? He should not take. So it gives the pathway to liberation. It conveys the transient nature of material existence. Means the one is thoroughly done. As I said, he is thoroughly, as Krishna says, not me, it's Krishna saying, he is thoroughly convinced that there is nothing left in the material world for material enjoyment. The only thing one has to do is use that for the service of the Lord. So that goes for the sannyasi. So now let's look for some examples in Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Vanaprasth, the example given is Prithu Maharaj. Very timely he departs. Also Bharat Maharaj, at a very young age, he will go and takes to the Vanaprastha ashram. Sannyas, like we have a devotee in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Raghunath Das Goswami. Very, very rich, very, very opulent. But he got so wonderful mercy of Lord that he runs away and he lives in a very, very extreme situation. I think you all know the pastime, but for my purification, I would say that how Raghunath Das Goswami, he went first begging at the Jagannath Puri temple, but then he thought that, okay, because I'm begging at the temple, I'm getting this desire that, okay, this person will give me more or this person will give me less. So he thinks, oh, this is not good. I am then having expectation that someone will give me, and that expectation he calls is like being a prostitute. So then he goes to a very, very austere, like whatever food is given to the cows over there, the leftover he takes and wipes and uses. So that is the level of detachment he develops. And he comes from a very, very rich background, but still, he stays in a humble situation. Why? Because that will please the Lord. The whole motivation is to stay closer to the Lord, please the Lord, and serve the Lord, right? So that is the real renunciation here is freedom from desire, the material desire, and not necessarily the lifestyle change. If we can do that, that's good, but ultimately we should get that freedom from the material desire. So what is it for us? There are exalted devotees who say that gradually we can do this, that every year we can give up something, right? Or at least we can follow Kartik month very regularly and we can give up something. If we do it for the pleasure of the Lord and with the intent that through this I develop and do my sadhana more, with more intent, with more eagerness, with more dedication, then it is fine. But if we do it for show off, if we do it for material pleasure, then it will not help us. It is useless. Whatever we do, Krishna is very kind. He will bless us. He will reward us. But the reward will be not what we should actually get. Like we ask for material thing, we'll get that. Radharani and Krishna, they are so kind. They will definitely. But then we stuck in this samsara. Right? Then second, okay, this is the thought here again, detachment and renunciation. So in both this ashram, this is like the critical thing. Like Vanaprastha and Sannyas, they are like practice of this detachment and renunciation slowly and gradually to the highest possible level, right? But why so? Why we have to do that? Why eliminate all the material compulsions? Why relinquish all the desire? So that one can transform and get the fully focus on the selfless devotion to the Supreme Lord, right? And then it is mentioned here how one should develop detachment is like one should not expect anything from anyone. There is a full routine that is given for Varnaprasth and the sannyasi, like how he has to stay, may not have a permanent resident. Also, we see in the six Goswamis, right? They never stay on the same, below the same tree, even for one night. They will keep moving, right? So that they don't develop that attachment. So they are totally detached from the material world. So that is the detachment and renunciation. Then one has to practice austerities, right? What are the austerities? So it is also mentioned that one should continue doing the sacrifices that were mentioned, but no animal sacrifice. One should not harm anyone. One should not cause fear to anyone. One should not be fearful of anyone, right? So that is mentioned in the chapter. So one has to follow this minimal lifestyle, fasting, meditating. Why all of this? So that one can purify the mind and body. So the more, I think we would have observed, like early morning when we take a quick bath and if the stomach is not totally starving and not full as well, the quality of japa is much more than when you do later part of the day, right? Like japa we can do any time in the day. Hare Krishna chanting is told to us anytime, anywhere. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this full permission, right? Do it anytime, any place, anywhere. There's no bound. But if we want to do quality, then we have to do, because that purifies us much more. And the purity level is different in the morning as compared to the evening, right? So that is there. So these austerities, they are not just mere discipline, but they are catalyst, means they transform us. They help us transform and be more devoted. So this is also an important point. Relationship between self-control and spiritual growth reveals the pathway to deeper understanding and connection with the Supreme. So the more self-control we are, the more spiritual realization we get. And ultimately, we get liberation from this Maya. So in Bhagavatam, who is the example of austerity? Dhruv Maharaj, right? Such a young boy, so determined. Of course, his initial intent was to material, to get a kingdom much bigger than his grandfather also, and that he got. But as soon as he saw the Lord, then he understood. Oh, I came for a piece of glass, but what I got is a priceless diamond, right? So that is the reward here. If we somehow or other, whatever we do, if we connect to a devotee, pure devotee, then whatever all we do, the pure devotee will help us transform to connect with the Lord, which is the important part. The next thing, most important, role of a spiritual master. I mean, without the blessing of a spiritual master, Diksha Guru, and also I will extend it to Shiksha Guru, where can we be, right? So wonderful we reading here, discussing this. This is all the mercy of our, Vaishnavas and Shiksha Guru, right? Like Charu Prabhuji, hope he is well soon and with us, and also kindly, our all the important, all of you were kind Vaishnava and Sarat Prabhuji. So wonderful, yeah. Right. So that is very important, and it is an indispensable role of a bona fide spiritual master in the journey. Why is that? Because Lord Krishna himself says that I extend myself as a guru. So through the worship of a guru, we practice the worship of the Lord as well. And the true guru will always engage us in the devotional service, inspire us to do that. We should be honest with the guru. The more honest we are, then we get. So then one may say, okay, should we do the personal physical worship or stay away and worship? Well, depend on the situation. Those who get opportunity to serve the Guru Maharaj directly, serve them, do all that in the ashram or staying, wonderful. But if not, we are away, then we follow the instruction what Guru gave us, the order that Guru has given us. When we follow that, that is also considered a true service to the Lord. And then how will Lord come to know? The Lord is Paramatma. He is existing everywhere. There is no place he is not there. So he sees the intent in our heart, and based on that, he rewards. So this highlights the critical attributes of humility, devotion, surrender. So by doing this to the Guru Maharaj, then we can gradually learn how to do that for the Lord as well. And then we have to share that knowledge with others. So there is a communal essence, right? So the word that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always given us is Sankirtan, means doing the kirtan along with all the devotees. Now, the next theme, universal duties or dharma. Lord Krishna says that worship of mine, and following this, worship of mine is the basic for all the varna or the ashram. It is not like only brahmachari has to do, or grahast has to do, or sannyasis. No, for everyone. But these ashram and these varnas, they all are framework, so that depending on our nature, quality, we are placed. We do it in a through a channel we are more aligned to. But ultimately, the worship of the Lord is not not optional. It is mandatory for all. Okay, so that is the universal dharma or the universal duties, and this is explained in Bhagavatam by very great example given by Ambarish Maharaj. So how we utilize every part of his body, the eyes by seeing, the hands by cleaning, the legs by walking to the Lord, and so on and so forth, right? So this is the guiding principle. It helps us attain spiritual elevation and leads us to profound realization of Supreme. So if through this, as we do this gradually, then not just externally, the inner part also has to be deeply connected through following this framework and practices given to us. So that is the important thing we have to take. Okay. Then continuing, now here we're talking about the Paramahansa. Okay, the Paramahansa. Who is the Paramahansa? The Paramahansa here signifies an individual who has ascended to highest state of spiritual release. As we know, Hamsa means he's a bird who can distinguish between, or he can distinguish between milk and water immediately. Paramahansa is one who can distinguish or separate between the material and spiritual thing, and he can also train and guide and this thing inspire others. So at some point, in some scenario, a Paramahansa may not may not seemingly look like the way. They can hide or conceal their identity as well. Why so? Because they don't want to take a risk of interacting with the common populace to protect their bhakti, right? What are the examples? I think in Bhagavatam you can see the example of Jad Bharat. Initially, he totally conceals himself so that, because in the previous birth as Bharat Maharaj, little bit mistake, right? That he remembers, so he doesn't want to take the risk. Only when he meets King Rahuguna, then he explains the exalted. Also, we see the example, Prahlad Maharaj, I think it's Canto 7. He meets a very exalted personality who is just sitting like a python. He's sitting in the same place. So Prahlad Maharaj says, "Oh, you are concealing your identity. You seem to be a very exalted person, but you are hiding yourself." So we cannot imitate the Paramhansa, but it is mentioned here that in some scenario, a Paramhansa may act not a very highly realized soul or a very foolish person. That is to protect their bhakti. There's one more example, if you guys can think, that is the King Priyavrat. He is the eldest, but he's not interested in any Rajkari. So he conceals his identity, right? So that is the man. So he is the highest. He knows everything. He is he has a sense of unity with Supreme. He can potentially be seen as an unconventional or erratic, right, by the untrained observer, right? But he has an inner intuition, he or she, divine inspiration and transit, right? So that is the definition and characteristics of Paramahansa. They are very, very exalted. We cannot imitate them. They are here for a reason and they protect their divinity. Sometimes they may come and out of their boundless compassion, like his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Paramahansa devotee, right? But they come to guide and follow the order of the Lord and help others to go by. They are transcendence of, they can transcend all the dualities. So they are beyond all this Maya. They know the true essence, right? Right. So that's there. Also, like this gives the example of Sukdev Goswami. He's totally transcendental. He's working as Avaduta. Initially, he's not even willing to come out of the mother's womb. But eventually to follow the order of his Guru Maharaj and to speak the Bhagavatam. So for the benefit of the general populace, they come. So that is the ultimate goal. So the ultimate goal of them is that they want to serve the Lord. So that's the final realization, and they don't give much heed to this material and physical. What is the philosophical significance? So from the Paramahansa, we learn or understand that the ultimate stage is of spiritual maturity, and the individual identity seamless merges with the divine. What does this mean? No, this is not like merging, like what the Mayavadi say, the soul will merge into the super soul. No, this is more about merging in the will of the divine. Like the as Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, that the jiva is eternal part and parcel of me, right? It is always there, the jivatma. The Atman is always a part and parcel of me. But here the unification is in term of the thought that I have to serve the Lord and make the Lord happy. The happiness is merged. So that is the point here. Right? Then we continue. There is a description of service and division in the Varnasana. So this is the final theme, the 7, right, divided into 6 parts. Here we go one by one, that what is the description of this dharma, and then we go. So the nature of service, right? The nature of seva. The nature of seva is what? It is totally selfless. The goal is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is irrespective of all the ashram, right? Right. And then there is kindness and compassion towards all living being. This is very important here, like thinking of all beings as the temples where, Lord stays. So there is no selfish intent and there is no ill attitude towards anyone, right? Recognition of divine in all beings. So that is again, as I said, it is a quality to aspire, and it is a discipline to have, to see the will of divine and divine in all being. So that can be done through deep-seated respect and compassion for every creature. That can happen once we have faith in what the Lord says is true, and we have a continuous practice of that. So this holistic perspective emphasizes that interconnectedness of all the life and reinforces the idea that spiritual progress is inseparable from ethical conduct and compassion. What does this mean? Ethical conduct like truthfulness, cleanliness, kindness, not harming anyone. So that is by definition like inherent as a bhakta. Right? So that is it. Then cultivation of bhakti, the gradual cultivation of bhakti. So through the detachment from material, desire, and then the association and following all the principle, then one flourishes through this regular act of service, humility, and surrender. And that leads to a richer understanding of divine love and grace. So the verse here comes to my mind is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always says, Trinadapi Sunichina Tarorapi Sayisuna. So one has to consider himself is lower than a straw in the street, and then give respect to everyone and not desire everything, not desire anything in return. Then one can chant the name of the Lord in a pure mind. So some examples here are like Haridas Thakur, how he did, like irrespective of the fact that he was beaten in 16 marketplaces, right? He was tested so thoroughly, but he had compassion for everyone. Even Nityananda, right? Nityananda Prabhu, he is being hit by this Jagai Madai, but um, he goes to the Lord and says, "Oh, Jagai, save me." And then both are delivered. So their mood is of extreme compassion. They are adoshadarshi, so we have to follow in their mood. That is what the unity is about. That is what the merging is about. The merging of the mood. Like, oh, the Lord doesn't see any fault. The Lord is present everywhere, guiding them. We see the presence of the Lord. He will take care of us. Right? Like the liberation through devotion. So here what it means is engaging in selfless service aligns the practitioner. So that's what I come to, right? Aligns with that. So here the liberation for a devotee is only liberating from any kind of material desire and fully aligning with the spiritual desire. What is the philosophical significance of this? So it helps us transcend the material desire, the material pursuit. It gives us the ability to see the divine in every aspect of life. And towards that, if you see in Bhagavad Gita, in Uddhav Gita, in Bhagavatam, how Lord Krishna he elaborately described his presence in everything, in sun, in moon, in water, in digestion, the sense objects, right? So all of this, they must help us develop the compassion. They must help us develop the understanding that so humble and so insignificant and little we are, and we are fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And it can help us the understand the interconnectedness of all the being. Right? So final conclusion of these verses, of these themes is like that Varnashram Dharma, it's a framework. It gives us the stages of the life, and we have to go through the gradual process, develop the detachment through the required austerities and under the guidance of the spiritual master. Right? Finally, the ultimate goal is to serve the Lord totally selflessly and live with a purpose of spiritual richness. So these themes, they underscore the transformative nature the one goes through when one follows this process. And the Paramahansa are also described, as I say, they are the pinnacle of spiritual attachment. They are above everyone and they walk freely in this world. They may at times conceal or hide their identity, be a bit different. But that is again, when the right time comes, they also are very, very merciful to guide the living entities. So let me take a 2-minute pause here and hear. Is everything going well? Is the audio okay? Anything to share?
Yes, Prabhuji, everything is okay.
Yes, good. Okay, where was I? Okay, then I will continue then. Any comments or thought to add so far?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Prabhuji,
ma'am.
Priyavrata is a Uttanpad brothers, right? Prabhuji?
Yes, ma'am.
Dhruva's
Yes.
uncle?
Dhruva's uncle, correct. So in Bhagavatam, as
Yes,
you
yes.
know, it is said that at first he was behaving very odd. He was not interested. He will behave like a fool, and he went to forest. But after some time, then he is called back to be the king of the world, and he is so miraculous, right? He has such a big chariot. Through that, all these 9 continents, or sorry, 7 continents are created by his chariot. They created the rings. So very exalted personality. Also, he was so merciful. He sees that okay, only one side of the earth gets sun for the world. The other side is in darkness. So through his potency, he creates two suns. So no one is in darkness, right? Two suns are through his potency. So
Yes,
much.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. So
Yes,
very
yes.
exalted person. But initially, how he behaves like a fool. So we get confused sometimes. We see. So takeaway for us is don't, as they say, don't judge the book by the cover. So have respect for everyone. People may behave differently, which also doesn't mean if someone behaves foolishly, you go and praise him, and so that will harm you. So be thoughtful, right? But yeah, but keep in mind
In
everyone.
other words, no show off of our bhakti.
Yeah, don't show off the bhakti. That is important. Protect the bhakti.
Protect.
Wonderful, Mataji. Wonderful, Mataji. Okay, so 9 p.m. Let me try to continue quickly and wind up in 15 minutes. Although there are 10 more slides to go, but there is a lot of, I mean, there are different themes, but they align to the same. So it's very difficult to find. So let's go through this anyway. BBD text and proposal. Our journey towards spiritual liberation, right? So these are the key things in hands and their significance. So gradual transition to renunciation. So here I think I have repeatedly said this is all not abrupt or without any immediate, but it is a very gradual transition, and one will need these qualities like patience, continuous study and understanding, and the preparation. So like as I say, even if we go for a journey, let's say I have to go from for a 10-day journey to Mayapur, or even for any place, we prepare so much, right? We take hot clothes, cool clothes, but one day we have to leave this body, right? So what is our preparation for that? So this varnashram is that preparation for your final stage of departing the body. So gradually we detach, practice these severe austerities in that past time. But for now, Srila Prabhupada has said repeatedly, the austerity for this time and place is Kali Yuga is follow the 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds as attentively as you can. So that's it. So here the age is given. The transition occurs around 50, corresponding to the natural arc, means depending on time place, right? So this is an evolution journey marked by distinct phases. Like gradually you make your austerity or tapa intense and intense and intense, and finally you have full detachment, right? So that is the gradual transition. And we saw in the pastime of Bharat Maharaj how he gradually evaluates and goes stage by stage. Then one must develop simplicity and self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency here is very important. Stress is given that at the age, at some stage, as much as possible, we must not depend on others for what we can do by ourselves, because that will create karma. Then we'll have to come back and repay that. The only exception is if one is doing it for the service of Lord, like a sannyasi or exalted devotee, then he can take service from others so that they can serve the Lord. Then that is not karma. But for personal benefit, no, that is so one should stay as simply as possible, whatever is arranged by the Lord, avoid unnecessary luxuries, have simple clothing, because with simplicity, then we can be more pure. We will not have those desires and we can continue to gradually go in the bhakti. The example we saw in Chaitanya Charitamrita is Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. They were so exalted, but when they meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then they are inspired and they quickly give away everything and live very simply. So the principle of austerity is the important component. Why? Because it purifies the heart and the mind for the spiritual path. Right? So that is it. Then in this chapter, it is mentioned about severe penances, very, very tough penances, which are almost, as I said, extreme weather condition, discipline and resilience, like staying in that hot summer and all that. So, but all of that is so that we train our body and detach from material. But for the acharyas for us, they analyze this and they give us an important point here that all of this, they compare the notion of genuine devotion arising from pure intention that can lead to revelation without the necessity of these extreme penances. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur comments that these severe penances are useless if you are doing for material gain, and they are useless if you're already a devotee, right? And you're doing it for the Lord. So the key point is just follow the principles given, serve the Lord, some Siddhir Hari Toshnam, and chanting the mantra and being happy is the key focus and point. Then we don't need to worry about doing this spiritual severe penances. But for those who cannot do, then they have to follow this path so that they don't get karma and they gradually get elevation. Then detachment from material elements, right? Again, that's like through these penances, obviously you will get that detachment. As I said, that is the result of this. So one has to train yourself to free the mind from attachment. There should be this attitude of detachment, and offering should be first given to the Lord and should be done with the perspective of the Lord, and that will give and that will give us that true fulfillment. But actually, what one should understand that true fulfillment is in devotion and not the pursuit of this material attachments. If through doing this we get attached the process and we develop that ego, I am doing that, then we will be lost. Right? However, the Lord is very merciful, He will always guide us. So one has to be detached from the result. For example, we have here is like I can think of Arjun, right? Initially, he's thinking he's put into, of course, illusion for a reason, intentionally, but he's thinking that, okay, I am the person killing, these are my relatives, I should stay happily, I will incur sin. Then Lord guides him that it's not you, I want you to act, it is my order. So based on my order, you act. And then he gives up all that and he acts in devotional service based on he's a Kshatriya, he follows the order, so he doesn't have to do all this severe penances for him. So that itself is a penance for him. So then continuing now, slide 11. The role of charity and humility. I think Prabhuji very nicely touched the part of charity. Through charity, we purify ourselves. And through purity, we can then, grow in devotion. Humility, so much emphasis by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Like we discussed, Trinadapi Sunachina. So, Vanaprasth, they have to beg for their sustenance. Why? Because it creates that the mood of humility. The mood of humility that I totally depend on the Lord. So that is totally dependent. So he's strictly advised to not to like whatever his food is given, he has to eat. He has not to save even for the next meal. That's it. Total dependence on the Lord. Right. So no storing, no stacking, no like storage, no house, moving continuously. Right. So the full surrender, full recognition of one's vulnerability. And why that? So that one develops the mode of relying on the Lord's mercy. Right. And then gradually develops respect for Lord. It is very difficult. I mean, I can't even comprehend how can one be in that stage and have a respect for everyone. Like, if someone just refuses something to at least me, then I become so agitated. So how difficult it is to have a respect when you beg something and you won't get. Like you're allowed to go to only 7 houses without any calculation, but those houses should also be houses of exalted Brahmins, or those who are following the Varnashram Dharma. You cannot go and beg to even houses which are sinful people, right? That is how the whole system is developed such that no one is doing sin. and everyone is supporting and cordially living, and everyone is helping each other. The Vanaprasth, the sannyasis, it is mentioned is that sannyasi will also, like Vanaprasth will collect from begging, and sannyasis will can take from Vanaprasth. And they are allowed to take begging from there. So only sannyasi and Vanaprasth can accept charity in that form, so that they fully. But what do they give back? They give back the knowledge. They give back that opportunity for people to serve them because they are fully serving the Lord. So through that, we are indirectly serving, taking the knowledge, and we are preparing ourselves. Then the role of charity, the best example of charity we see here is Bali Maharaj, right? How he gives away everything. Right? Now, the next theme is cleansing and purification. So it's very strongly stressed that one keep oneself very pure. In this chapter, Lord mentioned that the person in that Vanaprastha, he totally filters the water by his cloth so that he does not consume any germs, or when walking he sees down so that he does not step on any what do you call, any insect or also he keeps himself very, very pure, and he keeps himself cleaned up from all impure thoughts through bathing, through creating purity, and through all these actions mentioned over here. Then all of this, the focus is on devotional service. The key thing is one has to remember this is all to uh, uh, please the Lord, and how one can do that, constantly engaging in chanting and remembrance of the Lord. So that is the important thing. All of this severe practice, detachment is all so that one can fully engage in the devotional service. In the chapter, in the purport, the Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also gives different type of sannyasi, the Kutichari, Tridandi. So if one finds it difficult to go and beg, there is also a category called Kutichari Sannyasi, wherein the relatives, they build a kutia, small house far away for the sannyasi, where he just sits down, purifies himself, and chants and devotes. The relatives are allowed to go and just keep the food for him outside. That also very humble, so that he doesn't have to worry. And then he just takes that for a while until he develops the full detachment. So just imagine, like when you are staying with the relatives, you naturally develop the attachment. Now you're staying away, so you are being provided for the minimum sustenance that is necessary, but you are putting your full energy and focus in chanting and meditation of the Lord throughout. There's no other disruption or distraction. So through that, gradually, you will then stay away, and you'll gradually develop detachment. Right. So that is the. So through that, one understand the nature of reality. So then the Lord inside, he gives us the mood and understanding, Dadami Buddhi Yoganta, to focus fully on devotional service, and then understand the Lord. Right. So here the example again, we have like Jad Bharat, how he stays, right? And he wins over the illusory energy of the Lord. Also Haridas Thakur, right? He's tested at least 3 to 4 times. Like Maya Devi approaches, I think one of the Apsara approaches, and there is this, um, they try to see if they can allure him. But because Haridas Thakur is fixed in devotion, then by the Lord's mercy, he comes as a, in fact, he's able to transform them into pure devotee. Then the influence of demigod and distraction. So it is mentioned by Lord Krishna to Uddhavji in this chapter that when a sannyasi is fully engaged, sometimes the demigod may also become worried or concerned that this sannyasi will go back to Godhead, or he might also ask for our the heavenly like Indrasan and all. So they may create the distraction by giving the allurement. But Srila Prabhupada and Krishna says clearly that those sannyasis should not be attracted by that, and they should give no heed to such demigods. So one should be fearless and fully dependent and fully confident in the protection of the Lord. So this then helps the next theme, a realization of oneness with the divine. So as we discussed many times, realization of oneness with divine here is in the mood of mission and the vision, right? So ultimate realization is that we are not separated from the Lord. We are part and parcel. There is no place where the Lord is not there. And the motivation and the goal is same, that to serve the Lord. So that is the state of bliss and unity with Supreme. So, in conclusion, these themes then discuss the whole layout for the Vanaprastha ashram. It happens through gradual renunciation. One has to follow simplicity, devotion, and in the pursuit of higher and more profound reality. So that's the 10 themes. Now the next section here is 9, 10, right? So 10 more minutes and then we will conclude. Um, this is now focused on the principle and practices for the self-realized, right? So here it is mentioned that the Paramahansa, he must have childlike innocence. Those are his qualities. He's always blissful. He's not concerned with the society norm, humility, detachment, um, and sometimes superficially he may like look to be unconventional, right? But it is mentioned here, like the example given here is, for example, my example here is one. Yeah, the example in the purport given is for a person who knows his place very well and is a good driver, then it may not be necessary for him to know the driving rules and all, because he's so well known and he's so disciplined that no matter where, he will not harm anyone. But the rules and regulation of driving is for the people who don't know the lay of the land. Or a better another example is when we initially start swimming, we need those floaters and those rules and regulation for that. But once you know swimming, then you don't need that, you swim. So that is our devotional services. So all these rules and regulation are to get to a place where one can practice devotional service uninterrupted. But one who already is doing that, then the following of this social norm is not so important. But that being said, they never break that. They never break any rules, right? They help everyone to grow in their devotional service. Detachment from ritualism and atheism. So there is a strict warning here that one should not follow the concept of atheism, specifically like the Mayavad philosophy, one with the Brahman. Also, it is mentioned that the spiritualists should not read about Buddhism, as we saw that there is a lot of atheistic philosophy over here. So even for the aspect of trying, like even for the aspect of trying to read that so that I understand and I counteract, or I understand that context and then I defeat it with devotional service, that also is a big no, as given by the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and in this scriptures by our Acharya, which is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhakti Vinod Thakur, right? So one should be very, very careful of that. Right. Tolerance and non-violence. So as we said, like we saw a wonderful devotee, Narad Muni, one who was a hunter, but over the time he becomes so non-violent that while walking he is jumping here and there. So the Parvat Muni and Narad Muni came and he's like, oh, he's looking so weird. Why is he walking like that? Oh, that's because he's looking on the ground, and if there is even a small insect and all, they don't want to. So he's jumping here and there. So one has to practice full non-violence. Now the definition given here of humility and non-violence by Srila Prabhupada is the best one can do is giving Krishna conscious. So distributing the book, that is the best way of non-violence and humility. So Prabhupada has his own unique way of explaining these attributes. Okay. Then unity of all living beings. So one should see everyone as a part and parcel of the Lord. One should not differentiate or distinguish based on caste, creed, nationality. everyone is universal brotherhood. So this was so nicely practiced by Srila Prabhupada, right? He went everywhere. He has built us this house in which we see the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Indians, everyone come together and worship and get the divine bliss, right? Because everyone is part and parcel of the Lord. Right? So that is equanimity in material conditions. So that is Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. No matter if it is hot, cold, success, failure, the person in Varnashram, in Vanaprastha and Sannyasi, even in any ashram, they must be steady mindset. Only then we can practice the devotional service properly. In all of this, the role of Guru is so important. Only through the proper service of the Guru, giving them the honor, then we get the inner strength and the mercy and the grace to practice this properly. So through this, one has to understand the true purpose of life and worship the Lord, right? So the great example in this case is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Like throughout his life, he's only constantly chanting, whether he was in his childhood pastime or the sannyasi pastime. He encourages everyone, right? So we have to take opportunity of his teachings and improve ourselves. And then rejection of the false sannyas. So there is a strict warning given that if someone takes up to this sannyasa for his personal benefit, then it is condemned. And they will see a very strict punishment from the Lord for that. So one has to be very careful in that regards. Don't take this sannyasa for cheating and for fulfilling the material desires, right? So that is the warning that is given. So the ultimate reality here is Lord Krishna. One has to realize the ultimate truth, the ultimate ashraya, that is Lord himself. And we have to follow his instruction, right? The final, example that comes to my mind is like so many devotees like Nand Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, the Vrajvasis, they all see the Lord as their own and they are so attached to him. So we have to follow in their footstep, right? If we follow in their footstep, then one day, sure and sure, we reach that stage that we get the love of the Lord. So it reinforces that Krishna is a supreme being, and this is a theistic philosophy. Understanding Krishna as a source of all existence will encourage the devotees to have that personal relationship with him and move beyond the abstract notion of divinity, um, that and have that deep and intimate loving connection with the Lord. So in overall recap, what we saw that Vanaprastha and Sannyasa is described here. There are very severe austerities to be given, to be done as per this, as per the books and what the Vedic Shastra or scriptures tell us. However, the acharyas are very merciful. So depending on time, place, circumstance, they have given us a program which is very suitable and practical for us. So we must try to understand and follow it. The result through this will be same and even better than what has been mentioned, because we are being given the purpose, the inner intent, the inner mood, and we also have examples to follow. So with that, I will stop here. And yeah, it's very extensive, 18 slides. It's very difficult for me at least to come with a proper connectivity, but I tried my best. So please forgive my mistakes and please correct and please kindly add your point further here.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Very
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
So,
So wonderful class, Prabhuji.
So wonderful, Prabhu. Haribol. Prabhu,
thank you, Prabhu.
one
All
thing must be,
examples
Prabhu.
are so related. Super.
I have to learn how to simplify the narrative, Prabhu. That is what I have to learn. Thank you,
No,
Prabhu.
no, that is Charu Prabhu. He has done that. He gives me very simple and it is already simplified. So,
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji. Very wonderful
Krishna,
and
Prabhu.
lots of insight and takeaway from this. Very
Thank
nicely explained. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah, so again, Grahastha, one Brahmacharya Ashram, Grahastha, we can understand. But Vanaprastha and in a per se, it's not possible, right? In this
No.
Yuga. And why we are discussing so
Yes.
much of detail instead of, formatting us. Sannyasi is also, you are not supposed to be a sannyasi in this Kali Yuga.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
Vanaprastha is
clear.
also so difficult, right? So, I have one question: how to separate out, charity, austerity, and penances? Here they are talking of penances. That means doing something extreme. That's what you are looking here, because we saw you mentioned few things that penance means more
As
than
per
austerity,
the,
right?
yeah. So as per the, let's go one by one. So austerity is so nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada. Like there is austerity of mind, austerity of body, and then
Yeah.
austerity of action. So austerity of mind is being well-being to everyone. Austerity
Yeah.
of body is like bathing, fasting,
Okay.
right? So these are different level of austerity. Sorry, what did you say? There is austerity. You said three
Penance,
things. What
yeah.
is the penance? Yeah, penance and
Penance.
austerity, I think they are synonyms, right? If I'm not mistaken. Penance
No, they are
is
not seen.
no?
This is a little bit because I think we saw extreme. Is it maybe Sharad Prabhuji can tell? There is a difference because I'm also like you. My understanding is also similar.
Yeah.
But
So,
I'm
I will share my thought and then Saj Prabhu can. So,
yeah.
what is mentioned in this chapter is very much relevant to Satya Treta Dwapari, up to Dwapari, right? Now, this
Yeah.
knowledge is timeless, right? For
Mm.
us in the Kali Yuga, as you said, the Acharyas have said this is not applicable to us except for few people who can. Like the mention is given that for the Vanaprasth, in the cold, he should go in the cold water and immersions. I tried bathing in cold water for 5 days. I fall sick. Done, finished. So it is not possible. So for us, the austerity is what Prabhupada has given us.
There you go.
And that also he simplified from 64 round to 16 round. Actually, we should chant 64 round to 16. So that is the austerity. The austerity is avoiding all that sinful, the following the four regulative principle, right? That is relevant to us in time, place. Charity, I think that is very clear, like giving charity to the right person. But yeah, let's Sarat Prabhu clarify the penance and
Yeah, and the
austerity.
penance concept.
Penance and
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, as per the dictionary, austerity means tapasya and penance means paschatap. As per the dictionary. Now, I don't know. Maybe Sharad
So
Prabhuji.
paschatap is post, like you do
Like,
some
yeah,
sin.
punishment. Yeah,
Yeah.
punishment.
So
Punishment ka dand,
yeah.
that is penance.
Okay, that makes sense. So after
But
doing a sin, to counteract the reaction of the sinful, what you do is penance. Austerity is proactively you're doing it daily.
Yeah, tapasya.
yeah, but in devotional service, that is not my understanding is that is not because that's what my also understanding previously. Devotional service is not like that. That means if you commit something, then do something, right?
Oh
So
no.
physically,
That then becomes namaprad.
no,
That
no,
you're
no.
doing
I'm
on
the
the
penance. I'm
like a aprad. Like if you do something and say on the what do you call on the power of Harinam or this, I'm doing this, so I will do this, then I will chant and then I will counteract, then that becomes a pran, no? Right? So we can't
Prabhuji,
do that.
austerity means willingly giving up something. Like you give up comfort willingly. That is austerity. Avoiding luxurious life.
Willingly giving the difficulty to ourselves.
Yeah, giving up sense enjoyment.
Yeah, I think that is austerity.
Like we are talking of austerity and penance. Austerity means like for us a Banaprastha we are talking. You should not eat too much. You should not eat any grains prepared with fire except under some certain circumstances like this. He should not sleep too much like this. All these are what austerities. But penances, what is the prescribed for him? Like in the summer season, he should do. Suppose he is chanting or meditating, he should do under the sun, and on his four sides there should be fire burned, so that the scorching heat should affect him. That is what is penance. In rainy season, he should do all these things under the rains. And in the winter season, he should go to a pond or a river and immerse himself in water. All these things, rightly said, they are not applicable to us because we cannot do that. If we do only one day, then we will be admitted in the hospital only. So that's why, depending on our ability, it has been prescribed what we should do. Otherwise, all these things they are prescribed, they are given in the Shastras. But for Kali Yuga, what is most important, that has been taught by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That we have to understand.
So yeah, I think that's what that was I heard also. So as you said, that penance is doing beyond that, right? So starve the, like as you say, in a summer be in sun and all those things, which is the extreme. But austerity, it's more appropriate for Vanaprastha people. And you are saying that um, uh, penances for a sannyasi. Do you also connect the kind of thing or not like that?
But actually, things are much different for the Vaishnava. All these
Okay.
things, all these things, they are not applicable only.
Yeah, like previously, Satyuga, there, like Vishwamitra used to go and sit, meditate like 50 years, 50,000 years, right? So for
Yes.
Vaishnava, those kind of penances are not there. Austerity that, as Prabhuji also mentioned, follow four regular principle, chant 16 round, and do all other things are
Yeah,
mentioned.
that in the
So,
purport that in the Saradarshani, what Sir Prabhuji shared me, which I read, and we can share that in chat. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he clearly mentions that what is the use of these severe penances if the goal is material attachment, and what is the use of these severe penances if the goal is like if you're already spiritual enough. So
spiritual.
follow the process of devotional service that encompasses all that. So that's
But at the
clearly
same
written.
time,
Prabhuji,
even in Kali Yuga, for the sannyasis or for anybody else, the austerities are applicable. Like for us, not eating too much food, not sleeping too much, like all these things, getting up early in the morning in the Brahma Muhurta. These are all austerities. They give pain to the body, but they are required. But other things, they are not required. You are not required to come under the sun and chant your 16 rounds. So that is not written anywhere. That is not to be done.
In the old days, children used to stand and do all that. Because if you sit, you may fall asleep, right? So many things were there in previous old days. Go through that extra. I think this is what Prabhuji I was trying looking. The penance is little. It's a It's not like Bhagavatam. When the hell description was described, right? So penance. Those are different penance. If you do that, the price shift. So just now I think Mataji mentioned.
Yes, yes,
So that is not here.
yes, all those things, but they're impossible because
Yeah.
the sins one is committing every day, we do not know what sins we have committed. Like we walked some distance, how many animals or how many insects they got killed, you do not know. Then how do you do penance for that? These are impractical things to do, especially in this age.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. So nice.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, इन सिंपल वर्ड अगर हमें ये कनेक्शन में यहाँ अभी की सिचुएशन को अगर कनेक्ट करना हो तो हमें ये करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम अगर जंगल में तो जा नहीं पाएंगे तो क्या करना चाहिए। वानप्रस्थ में हमें घर के जो मेंबर्स है उनके साथ शांति से प्रेम से बर्ताव करना चाहिए। बहुत ही इन्वॉल्वमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए हमारा कि भाई ये मत करो वो मत करो। उनको कंप्लीटली इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं देनी चाहिए इतनी कि भाई वो उनके हिसाब से जो करते वो करने दीजिए, जियो और जीने दो। ये फंडा होना चाहिए।
You mean one should retire fully and give the responsibility to others and get
हाँ
involved
प्रभु,
in the devotional service only in bhajan kriya.
instead of
Don't
external things we have to look internal thing. We should be internalize our thing ourselves.
as you grow
Then you
old,
said,
don't yeah.
then you
I
said
just
you don't have to move to a forest because actually there are no forests now. Then you can move to Vrindavan or any
no,
of these 12 forests.
the life is
Yes.
changing. Life is changing so much. As you go one plus one, nobody, you saw we forgot that third canto, right? What happens to when you become old? Who likes you? Nobody likes. Whether you want to do or not, whether you want to give advice or not, who is there to take? Nobody takes your advice, right? So
Yes.
you have been already isolated as you grow. And third canto describes very vividly, right, Prabhuji? Third canto.
Yes, yes, yes.
Kapil Dev.
First of all, the day you attain 60, the government rejects you.
And then family starts rejecting you.
Very true, Prabhuji, very true.
So,
In
so
our
you don't have
Gujarati,
to
there
do.
is a one proverb, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Sainte buddhi nathi. Matlab, at the
हाँ.
age of 60, your intelligence gone.
No, if it is there, nobody accepts that. That is another part.
Yes, Prabhuji. No,
Yes.
nobody accepted. Very true.
So that is why Krishna.
Prabhuji, one thing more, the austerities may be different at different age. For example, एक स्टूडेंट के लिए सिंसियरली स्टडी करना, अर्ली मॉर्निंग में उठना और उसके लिए एफर्ट्स करना, कम खाना खाना, इधर उधर की जो है मतलब डिसिप्लिन मेन रह जाता है, इधर उधर की चीजों में ना जाना, ओनली अपना फोकस ऑन द स्टडीज और सब entertainment sadhan chodna sab kuch, that is also austerities for a student. And in
Yeah.
our age, in one plus our duty becomes all these. Raksha Mata ji ne jo bola ki don't interfere in any one's activities and go on focusing on Lord and do your bhajan kirta. और कोई कुछ मांगता है एडवाइस तो दे दो, सही है तो, अदरवाइज तो आंख कान, वो बंदर वाला जो गांधी जी का बंदर, आंख कान और ये क्या है माउथ बंद रखो टू मेंटेन सुख और शांति। सुख और शांति घर में, क्योंकि किसी को पसंद आएगा किसी को नहीं आएगा, कोई चाहेगा तो कहीं लगता है कि हाँ भाई यहाँ जरूरी है बहुत बोलना और तुम्हें बता देना चाहिए, वहीं पे बोलो, अदरवाइज गांधी के 3 बंदर बन जाओ और अपना ध्यान अपने उस परमात्मा को अगर देख के कि हाँ मुझे वहां जाना है, वहां पे फोकस करो। इसको भी हम एक तरह से अपने को सब चीजों से हटा के, उसमें प्रॉब्लम बड़ा दुख होता है कि हम चीजें जो दूसरे छोड़ते हैं, अटैचमेंट होती है हमारी, तो टू गो टुवर्ड्स डिटैचमेंट बहुत दुखदाई है शुरू शुरू में, लेकिन उसको करते रहना चाहिए। दैट इज ऑल्सो a study in our time in Vanpress. ठीक है प्रभु जी, आई एम राइट?
Yes, 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 yes. And in devotional service, we should remember one thing that suppose somebody says, I have been chanting so many rounds, 64 rounds and 128 rounds and all that. I am doing all these things throughout the day. They are also important, but what is most important is your intention. If your intention is to please the Lord, then you have achieved everything. Like in
Yes.
Bhagavatam, you see two instances. In the 10th canto, the Kaliyadaman Leela, the wives of Kaliya, how they recite various verses and please the Lord. But what was their intention at the end? Intention was to save Kaliya, their husband. Okay. The other instance is the Brahmana's wives. Krishna and Balrama had sent their friends for food. They were not given food by the Brahmanas. Then he sent them again to the wives. The wives took everything, went there, fed the Krishna Balrama and all his friends. Now, if you see, when they met Krishna and Balrama, they knew that they are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They did not do any arti or puja, or they did not sing any hymns of the Vedas. And when at the end Krishna told them, you go back, and now they told him many things. What was their aim? Their aim was to please Krishna and nothing else. And they didn't want to go back also to their homes. Therefore, the Krishna was more pleased with them than the wives of the Kaliya. That means what is our ultimate intention? That is most important. Our intention should be to please the Lord. That's all. Nothing else. Not for any to get any material benefit in this world or in the heavenly planets. So that has to be kept in mind. That has to be understood by all.
प्रभु जी, मेरा एक अपना पर्सनल है क्वेश्चन कि जो ये सुनते हैं कि ये डेली इतना जपा करता है, जैसे 1 लाख राम राम जपा किया तो 1 लाख से अबव, तो वो ऑल द टाइम कैसे जो जपा है वो मैकेनिकल प्रोसेस नहीं बन जाता? क्योंकि पूरा टाइम इवन 24 आवर्स सोते समय भी, और उसमें जो हम बोल रहे हैं भगवान का ध्यान होना चाहिए, दैट लगता है कि ठीक है, लेकिन बाकी सारा टाइम हम उसमें ध्यान नहीं रह सकता। हम जो अपनी डेलीज की एक्टिविटीज भी हैं वो भी करनी होती हैं, बहुत कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं जो करना जरूरी है, और तो फिर वो जपा कैसे इतना ज्यादा कर लेते हैं लोग?
People like Haridas Thakur, he used to do 192 rounds every day.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, हरे मंत्र।
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu ji.
Haridas Thakur, he used to chant 22 hours a day. Just 2 hours for anything. What you said, we can do 24 hours, that is not possible. But there is a form of japa known as ajapa, in which the body chants even if you are doing something else. That is a different subject matter. We will not be talking about that today. But please remember that even if somebody chants only one name of the day, then that also does not get waste. It stays in his account. Like in our bank accounts, when we leave this world, they do not go to the one who has opened that account. But this Harinam, the Lord's name, that remains there. It doesn't go anywhere. It may be mechanical, it may be anything, but one should keep on chanting. But what should be done? The other day I was telling you an instance given in Padma Purana. How do you know that you are chanting rightly? If your throat is getting choked while you are chanting, tears are coming from your eyes, And then all the symptoms, not Ashtasatvika, but some of the symptoms, if they are seen, then you are chanting correctly and you are reaching the Lord. But otherwise also, it is not getting waste. It is not wasted at all. That has to be understood.
Yes,
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
भाव का होना बहुत जरूरी है.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Radhavinath Prabhuji, you ask, then after you
Yeah.
will ask.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm just looking Ajappa. Haripat, it says Ajappa. I was trying to find out how to go to that. It's basically every breath you take in, you chant. In every breath you exhale, you chant. So the process given is basically you start Vachika, like we are supposed to do, right? Chant so that we can hear that. Second thing is Upansha. It's a gradual process, it doesn't go. It's a gradual Supanshu. So that means you close the mouth and all that tongue and other things are going. So you do that. More focus. How that happens there. Then Mansik. And then go Upanshu. Ajapa. You don't do Ajapa just like that. So Ajapa is the ultimate stage where it happens, it happens mechanically. Because I remember when my Guru Maharaj left the mortal world, somebody showed the videos was coming up. In a dream also he was doing puja because wherever he used to go, he used to do artis. Mangalarti he will get up. Whatever time he sleep, he will get up. So it was seen that in a sleep also, in all that expression, it happens. When you are so much with that, so how to do all transitions, everything and that Ajapa, that's what Haripat also says that one has to reach to that level so that because how you breath is the only one thing which continues uninterrupted, breath uninterrupted. So you tie with that breath, so everything is done. But it's a gradual process. So that's what I just wanted to add to that.
Yes,
Thank you.
like Ajapa will talk about it some other day.
Right.
It is a scientific process.
Correct. Okay, Mataji, go ahead.
I'll tell you also the story how it has been found out by people that people who died a long time back and their bodies buried in earth, but the names Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is coming out from that. And please remember, everybody cannot hear that also. That is also true. All these things are there. They're quite scientific and they are true also. And they are possessed by very, very few, extremely few great devotees only.
Yes, Prabhu.
So
Thank you,
Japa
Prabhuji.
means, if I understand,
Yes.
Prabhu, it is like I am not doing it, but my mind is doing the japa. My conscious is doing japa only. Is that Prabhu?
Yes. Even if you are
Subconscious.
fighting with somebody, your body is doing japa.
Japa, yeah.
Yeah, I think you said one time, like Arjuna, his hair also chanting Hare Krishna.
Yes.
I think it's in the first time. So that is
Okay,
sort of-
Santamataji had some question, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji, not at that level, but at our level, as you once said that if you are not doing it on the mala or the counter, then that round is not counted. You have to do japa, the assigned rounds, you have to do japa on the counter or the mala.
No, you see, as per our system, we have to do minimum 16 rounds. Somebody takes a vow to chant 32 rounds, whatever it is. That should be on the chanting bids. But otherwise, whatever you are taking the names, whatever time, they are not going west. They are counted, they are not west. That has to be understood by all of us.
So sometimes inattentively we do. So even that is
Okay,
also
Prabhuji.
been counted. Is that you're trying to say, Prabhu?
Anything, if you are taking the name of the Lord, whether with the chanting bids or otherwise, they are going into your account. They are not wasted at all. Like when we meet each other, we say Hare Krishna. That is also counted. Though the meaning
Okay.
is different. We are
Very
greeting.
casually we say Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Without any conscious sometimes. Okay. Okay.
yes, yes. You are
Get
That
all the
means,
point.
Prabhuji, we have to speak like this only. सबको हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा से ही बोलना चाहिए. किसी को दूसरी भाषा से नहीं बोलनी चाहिए, है ना प्रभु जी? So it
yes,
is
but
very good.
it depends in which society you are staying, in which association. People will not understand. Like most of the people in Vrindavan, they understand Radhe Radhe. Some understand Hare Krishna, some understand Jai Sri Krishna, like this. But whatever it may be, it should be with the Lord's name only. That is what is important.
स्पेशली जब हम फोन पे बात करते हैं तभी हम कर सकते हैं प्रभु जी ना, स्टार्टिंग हरे कृष्णा जय श्री कृष्णा से.
Yes, yes, yes. Why not? The Lord's name, whether chanted willfully, negligently, or sarcastically, that does not go waste under any circumstances.
संजय प्रभु जी, इन भागवतम 4th श्लोका में बहुत ही अच्छा श्लोक दिया गया है जिसके बारे में आपने बताया था. आराधितो यदि हरिस तपसा तथा किम, ना आराधितो यदि हरिस तपसा तथा किम, अंतर्बहिर्यदि हरिस तपसा तथा किम, ना अंतर्बहिर्यदि हरिस तपसा तथा किम. बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल मीनिंग है ये. अपना 18 चैप्टर में ही प्रभु जी 4th श्लोक में श्लोक बहुत ही अच्छा श्लोक दिया गया है.
That I think Bhakti Vinod Thakur also quotes that.
ये नारद पंचरात्रि का है. नारद पंचरात्रि में उसका मीनिंग ये है कि यदि कोई भगवान कृष्ण की पूजा करता है और उन्हें जीवन का लक्ष्य समझता है तो कठोर प्रकार की तपस्या करने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है. और सभी प्रकार की तपस्या करने के पश्चात यदि कोई कृष्ण तक नहीं पहुंच पाता है तो उसकी तपस्या का कोई मूल्य नहीं है, क्योंकि कृष्ण भावना के बिना विभिन्न प्रकार की तपस्या मात्र व्यर्थ परिश्रम है. श्रम एव ही केवलम.
अच्छा, sorry, any other question or comments? Okay, if there are no comments or questions, we can end today's class. But since time is there, let me tell you something. It is not that the Lord will get very much satisfied or he will be fully satisfied if somebody chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only, and somebody belonging to some other religion, he is also taking the name of the Lord will not get satisfied. That is not the thing. The Lord gets satisfied in whichever way you take his name. There should be no doubt about it. That means whether a Hindu is chanting, whether a Muslim is chanting, whether a Christian is chanting, or taking the name of the Lord, they all go because the Lord is one only. These are various names only, and there should be no doubt. I just heard a story yesterday only. There was a very famous sadhu in Vrindavan. His name was, I think, Hariram Baba. Some one of you would have heard. What happened? He had gone to a fair once that was in Patna, near Patna, that is in Bihar, and he saw one Muslim person wearing a kanthimala, that is in Tulsi Mala. He asked him, "What is this you are wearing?" Then this Muslim chap, he tells him, you look to be a Hindu fakir and you do not know what is this. He said, no, no, I know. It seems it is a Tulsi Mala. He said, yes, I am wearing this Tulsi Mala. He said, why you are wearing? He said, I am very old. I cannot stand for a long time. I cannot tell you the whole story. Please come to my home. Then he took him to his home. And in his home, what he saw, there are big, big tulsi plants planted by that Muslim chap. And he called all his family members to offer obeisances to the sadhu. And all of them, they were wearing tulsi mala. Then he asked him, why you have started this? This is not in your religion. Why? He said that there is a story behind it. He said, once I had gone to this Mela, this Harihar, that is a Mela in the Harihar Kshetra that takes place every year. And he said, while I was coming, I became very ill. This is the very old story. So I sat around a tree, beneath a tree, and I was waiting for the taking some rest. Then what happened? I could see three ghostly persons approaching me, near me. Then when they came, they asked, then this person asked them, who are you? Why you are coming here? They said, we are Yamadutas. He said, why you have come? He said, you see from a long distance, a bullock cart is coming, and that person who is on the cart, he will be killed, and we are going to take him. Now, when he heard, he said, let us see. Then after some time, then they described how he will be killed by one of the bulls who was in that the cart. And exactly the same way this person got killed. And finally, he got thrown by the bull to a place and he died. Now, then this Muslim chap, he saw these three Yamadutas, but they were totally unhappy. He asked them, why you were unhappy? He said, this person who died, he has fallen on a dried tulsi plant. Because of this, our jurisdiction finishes here. We cannot take him back because we cannot take any action. Then this chap asked him, why I was able to see you. He says, because you do namaz 5 times in a day, you are taking the name of the Lord. One thing. Then he asked him, who goes to the hell? He said, those who eat meat, they are they are definitely they will be going to the hell. And he said, who does not go to the hell? He said, those who wear Tulasi Kanthimala, they do not go to the hell. Then he said, from that day he started wearing Tulsi Mala, and for some time the other Muslims they objected, but now nobody is objecting. That is in brief the story. That's why please be rest assured that the Lord is Supreme Lord is one only in various forms. And that is proved in so many places. Even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling Kaji, he's clearing his doubts about Quran and all that. This we have to keep in mind. Okay, if we don't have any other
Prabhuji, one question. So
yes,
he
yes,
stopped eating meat?
yes,
Okay, okay.
yes.
But what if then some people wear tulsi mala and then eat? meat or onion or garlic
Yes,
and all.
yes. If somebody is chanting the name of the Lord, he is following the principles and he is wearing a tulsi mala, then he cannot go to the hell. That is what is the gist of the story.
But okay,
He should
that's
follow it, not
interesting.
eating non-veg, Prabhu, for sure. And Kantimala, if he wear, then he will not go.
Yes,
But if he is
that is
violating
said.
all the rules, then there is no use of Kantimala. Correct, Prabhu?
Okay, that is also not true. If like this person, what I told, he was coming in a cart and he fell down on the dried tulasi plant, and that's why the Yamadutas that did
Okay,
not
understood.
take. We do
Hmm.
not know if he was eating meat or not.
Oh yeah, so Yamaduta
Okay.
coming to take him, but Tulsi Mala protect. But then
Yes,
that was accidentally fall down. Like if
accidental.
uh, well, I don't know accident, but if someone knowingly does that, then that is a problem. Okay, okay.
Nay, you see, it is totally prohibited. Like those who are eating non-veg, they are not supposed to chant on the tulasi beads. That is what is the prohibition. That one should follow.
A very inspiring story, Prabhu. Thank you.
Nay, like you see this Ajamila's case. He accidentally took the name of the Lord,
Yes,
though he
yes.
was calling his son. And that is Nama Bhasa. With this, he was saved. Then, what if somebody wears the Tulasi Mala, takes the name of the Lord? Okay, any other question? Okay, I'll circulate this story which I keep on hearing.
This is
I'll
there in
send.
internet, Prabhu. This is there in
No,
internet.
no, no. I'll send you. Yes, yes. Everything is in the public only, public domain. But
Hmm.
you would not have found. I have found. I'll give you.
Yes, very wonderful story, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Then we can conclude the class with the Nrsimha prayers.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai ho. Shila Gadadhar Pandit ji ki jai ho. नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रह्लादलाददायिने हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्षः किलटङ्कालकालाय हितो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बहिर्नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नाखा अद्भुतशृङ्गार ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय हो नरसिंहदेव 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 जय हो नरसिंहदेव जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय हो प्रहलाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव नित्य गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय हो भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय हो श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय हो. Praying for the Charu Prabhuji. Get well soon, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki
Thank,
jai. Dandavat
thank you,
pranam to
Mataji.
all devotees.
Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Bhakti.
thank you very
Thank
much. Nice class.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sanjay Prabhuji, Sarat
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam to all devotees.
Thank
See
you.
you
Thank
tomorrow morning.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.